It's that strange time between Christmas and New Year's where the week becomes a little blurry. No one really knows what day it is. Festive decorations fade under the summer sun. But one thing continues to anchor us all. The beautiful game of football. And tonight, it's round 10 of the Ninja A-League to stir us from the Christmas haze and bring us back to life. Good afternoon, kia ora, and welcome to a warm day in the west of Sydney, where this evening the Wanderers host the high-flying Phoenix in what's set to be a cracking match. Warm afternoon out west, as it always is, the sun beating down on the fans at Wanderers Football Park. Well, tonight is the penultimate Ninja A-League fixture of 2025, the last being played tomorrow evening. The Central Coast Mariners in the traditional fixture at Polytech Stadium in Gosford, taking on Brisbane Roar. That will be a great match, so don't miss out. But tonight, it's all happening at Wanderers Football Park. Plenty of Nepalese fans streaming in to see, well, we'll learn a little bit more about Samba from the Wellington Phoenix, but a great turnout. Well, it's 3 games in 7 days for the home side, who have had a quick turnaround since their heavy defeat to Adelaide at the weekend. While the Phoenix, refreshed following a 10-day break with a bye over Christmas, they'll be eager to repeat a 7-goal thrashing they bestowed upon Sydney FC. And Catherine Cannuli joins me tonight, knows this field well, knows this part of Sydney extremely well. What are you expecting to see tonight, Knowles, with a Western Sydney, fair to say, a little wounded after their last result?
Absolutely. It's been a tough couple of weeks, and now with these 3 games in 7 days, it's going to be, it's going to take its toll on the players and the staff as well. And I'm sure that they've done everything to recover for this match, and they know how important it is tonight to be able to get 3 points at home, and what a cracking crowd it is at Wanderers Football Park. This is what we need to see in the Ninja A-League week in, week out. So it's lovely to see all these people supporting the league and getting behind women's football in Australia.
Well, as we wait for the teams to arrive on the field, let's have a look at how the teams are lining up tonight. 2 changes to the side that lined up just 3 days ago. Ina Harada comes into the midfield for Western Sydney, and Alyssa Ansard starts up top, replacing Talia Yunus and Yuan Kong respectively. As mentioned, it is a busy schedule for the Wanderers, who play 3 games in 7 days. This the second of those 3, and a tight turnaround. So the management of tired legs is especially important across this period. It's one change to the team that shook Sydney FC to the core. Lara Wall comes into the starting 11, with Mania Elliott dropping to the bench. And for the first time tonight, we see recent injury replacement signing Emma Pynenberg on the bench, who is set to make her Ninja A-League and Wellington Phoenix debut, should she make the field this evening. A really good central midfielder and great pickup for Bev Priestman's side. So the teams do make their way out onto the field. And you can hear the vocal crowd. Really wonderful turnout at Wanderers Football Park. Western Sydney, after that defeat to Adelaide on Saturday, they flew back to Sydney on the Sunday, had a really light recovery session on the Monday, back playing football on the Tuesday. Tight turnaround. Wellington Phoenix, on the other hand, that 7-0 thrashing to Sydney FC was 10 days ago. Alyssa Ansard, the 17-year-old, this is her 3rd start of the season, impressing off the bench on several occasions, and it was a consolation finish in the end, but a goal last weekend, or at the weekend against Adelaide, you could feel the immediate impact when she came on at half-time. Some really good signs from a player who still juggles school commitments across the season, such a young talent, and a really good option for Jeff Abraham's side. At the other end of the experience scale, Sabitra Bandari, or Samba as she's affectionately known, Nepal's all-time leading goal scorer, whose shoulders carry the weight of an adoring nation. She took time to build into the league. She's really found her shooting boots last game against Sydney FC. and a strong contingency of Nepalese fans out to see her tonight. There's Jeff Abrahams. He said it's important for his side to start well and match up physically against a strong Wellington team. He recognises that individual players need to win their duels and battles, so expect to see that approach as the game gets underway tonight. In charge of tonight's game, super experienced Georgia Ghirardello, assistant referees Misuk Park, Claire Green, and tonight's fourth official is Charlotte Flynn. Well, Bev Priestman has put a challenge to her group this week. Don't make that result against Sydney a one-off performance, the instruction. First year in charge at Wellington, and almost manifested the result prior to the Sydney game, having noted a team was due a good hiding, but now the next step is to back that up with a game at hand, the one in front of them, and really important response after a bit of time out in that impressive result. So Chloe Berryhill, big part of this team, Kath, big part of the leadership and experience that she brings into the side.
She sure is, Grace, and what a great pickup it was for the Western Sydney Wanderers. It just worked out perfect timing for Berryhill to come back into the Ninja A-League and really, you know, bring her experience. And, you know, how many years she's been in this league. She's played all around the world. She's got plenty of caps with Matildas. And, you know, something that we do know about Berryhill is that she's a real leader on and off the pitch, and she can really make a difference to this young side.
No doubt will be driving the standards. That team talk largely led by goalkeeper Shan Palmas. But Berryhill, a spiritual leader for this team, no doubt about it. Grace Jale stepped up in a big way for the Wellington Phoenix this season. Well-travelled across the A-League herself, bit of time at Perth, Canberra. But well and truly calling Wellington home. So all ready to get things underway. It will be Western Sydney with the kickoff. The sun still warm across Wanderers Football Park. Really healthy crowd, great to see. So there's the whistle. Underway we are for this round 10 fixture between Western Sydney Wanderers and the Wellington Phoenix. And it's the wounded Wanderers who arrive off an absolute thrashing. 5-2 they lost to Adelaide on Saturday, just 3 days ago. So a tight turnaround. Wellington, as mentioned, have had a long rest, a long break to recover any little aches and pains from that 7-0 win, which I'm sure they didn't feel too much of. And they've had the Christmas time to rest and recover and recoup. But this is an important fixture. And this is a good early start for Wanderers, who are occupying a bit of an advanced territory. Good strength in the middle of the field. Here is Jale. A release pass is probably asking a bit much of MMA, and Danica Matos can charge down. So some questions been asked early on, Kath Cannuli, but really, what are you expecting to see in terms of the approach from Western Sydney and how they come up against a Wellington team that had such a strong performance in their last hit out?
It's going to be a difficult one for the Western Sydney Wanderers. They've got advantage here, being at home in front of this, you know, big crowd. They're in front of their friends and their family. They need to start on the front foot today. They need to be aggressive. Like Jeff Abrahams has said, they've got to win their duels. They've got to win those 50-50s. They've got to show that they want it. And I don't think that they can come from behind today. They really need to take it on the front foot today and really take it this Phoenix team. The Phoenix are coming off such a great win against Sydney FC. They didn't just beat Sydney FC, they absolutely demolished Sydney FC last week, and that breeds confidence within the squad as well. And Samba, you know, getting her first goal as well. We know that she's a prolific goal scorer, and you need to be able to stop her in her tracks today.
Well, slowing Samba down is going to be just one of Western Sydney's problems. There's great support behind the Nepalese star, and I'm sure we'll hear them as the game wears on. It was a result that was building for Wellington Phoenix, and Bev Priestman said as much. As Amy Chisari is brought to ground. She's been an important part in the midfield for Western Sydney, despite some difficulty. The 21-year-old, a really important person in the middle of the field, gets stuck in, doesn't mind a physical duel, and she'll find that time and time against Grace Jale this afternoon. That ball lofted towards Wellington's defence. Whistle goes for another free kick, a little further advanced on the field. Well, eagle-eye referee and Georgia Ghirardello on the spot, so the Phoenix with some defending to do.
You can see here the Wanderers are really, getting stuck in and trying to, win those duels already. And I think that was a little bit of a soft foul there, to be honest, but this is the advantage that the Western Sydney Wanderers really need to take early on. And we know what it's like, Grace, in the start of the game. The first 5 minutes has always got a bit of a jitters as well in the game. So let's see what the Wanderers can do here.
Well, Amy Harrison, the captain, standing over the ball. Her delivery here important. Numbers sent forward. Alana Cern just floating towards the back post. Phoenix players at the ready. Harrison's free kick. Nice shape about it. Good delivery. Good pace. Still in. Still alive. And it's Barry who's first to it. Pass down the line. Blocked there by Nsard. So, crisis averted perhaps for just a moment. Jeff Abrahams noting the physical presence as we just eavesdrop into some of the instruction on the sideline from Priestman. Berryhill, centering pass, didn't quite have the legs behind it, nor did that one. Back from where it came, Stern's ball, a little short. And maybe some nervy touches. The crowd comes alive as Samba gets her first touches of the contest, and too heavy is the challenge from Amy Harrison.
You can just see here Amy Harrison's really up for the battle today, and it's great to see the Wanderers starting like this. They really need to have this start, and the battle's already starting between both these teams, which is great to see.
So Samba found 2 goals in that game against Sydney FC. A brace for her, brace for Grace Jale as well. And a couple of players discovering their shooting boots just to relieve the pressure. So much weight on the shoulders of this player. She's an icon in the Nepalese community, and you can see the numbers that turn out to support her. It's wonderful for the league. Wellington throw. Long throw skips over everyone. Harrison can watch it harmlessly dribble out. Well, we speak of defence and some of the defensive duties at hand. It's been a tough old outing for Western Sydney, who are trying to pick apart what has been a really disciplined Wellington side, and maybe with some defending to do here. Rock's ball is dropping to Samba, and it's an awkward one in the box. Not quite dealt with on the first time of asking. Bounces off one to another. And in the end, it's Emma Main who's on the spot, can steer it into the back of the net for the Wellington Phoenix. It caught everyone off guard, but Wellington, they've got the lead.
What a great finish there, but we've got to really praise the setup of the press from the Wellington Phoenix. You can see that Bev Priestman here has done her homework on the Western Sydney Wanderers, knowing that they like to play out from the back, and you could see from the beginning how aggressive they were. They were pressing up with 3, waiting for the Western Sydney Wanderers to play out from there, and then really took their opportunity. Once they won the ball, they exploded forward to be able to grab that first strike and put the ball in the back of the net.
Well, definitely caught the Wanderers on the back foot. And Samba appears to have been caught on that right foot. Emma Main with her first goal of the season. It's a top start for the Phoenix. But concerning signs here for Samba, who gets a little treatment from the physio.
You can see here Lana Cern really just coming in, flying there on Samba. A little bit of probably frustration from getting that goal super early in the game and being disappointed there. But, you know, just got to be really careful with these challenges.
Well, there's no doubt she'll be receiving some close attention. That's late from Alana Cern, undoubtedly. She's got that right knee heavily strapped. Back to her feet, which is a relief for Samba, a relief for Wellington fans, but no doubt she will have been ID'd as one of their key threats. That's a decent ball over the top. The experienced Vic Essen is well off her line. Now a chance for the Wanderers to reply in kind. Possession in favour of the visiting team inside the opening 10 minutes, and it'll be an early goal really favouring the visiting team. Samba square to Bott, back inside to Samba, has a little bit of space, thinking about a turn, runs into a well-defended wall, still alive. Pia Vlock threads the ball wide, centering cross, looping and undangerous over the top. Wall trying to find some quality on the delivery. Again, Wanderers play short. The press comes. Second ball with Phoenix. CJ Bott pulls the pass wide to Brooke Nunn. Her touch inside, prodded away. Bott again. Now Samba, who has a bit of space if she can find it. Run into it. Samba's cross. Dangerous, flicked onto the far post. Again, not quite dealt with in the middle. Dangerous areas here for Western Sydney. And Western Sydney at the moment, they're just absorbing pressure. That's a nice ball over the top. Nunn has a bit of time to think about it. Finds Samba. Her touch, 1 and 2 off the foot. And in the end, it's desperate defending by Wang Ying, the Chinese international, who goes to ground to block the cross. And a single shot on target and a single goal for Wellington. Quite the return. He's inside. Barry to beat, nice challenge. Good individual defending from Mackenzie Barry. And Pia Vlock, the 17-year-old for Wellington, who's been quite a revelation in the midfield. What a talent she is. Pass finds Samba. You can hear the crowd rising. Needs an option in the middle. The ball is good. It's Harrison to block. Here's Vlock, the 17-year-old, and that's a heavy challenge. Tumbles over the top. Scrappy for a moment or two. Vandermeer, that's a poor pass, blocked by Berryhill. Slows things down to speed it up. Here comes Matos. Centering ball is a good idea from Matos, but dealt with at the back by Wellington's defence. Well, end to end at the moment. Here's Pia Vlock, New Zealand youth international, called up into the squad, entrusted by Priestman to do a job, and done a job indeed she has over the last few weeks.
You can see here Buchanan really getting stuck in with his tackle here, and with some great defending and showing how aggressive she can be. And especially at the moment, they're trying to weather the storm here, the Western Sydney Wanderers.
They're just absorbing a lot of pressure, Western Sydney. Long searching ball over the top. And that's good strength by Jale to win the second ball. Runs into a bit of trouble, does get the free kick in the end. CJ Bott suggesting that's twice now.
You've got to give it to Chisari here. Physically, Jale is just so much more superior than Chisari, but doesn't give up in a tackle. Always really, trying to get her body in between the player and trying to use her body, but just comes off second best there.
It's hard up against a player with the stature of Grace Jale. In the words of Bev Priestman, she's a top player, and she's stepped up this season for Wellington. Wellington trying to fashion something down their attacking right-hand side. Block can turn out, keep play alive. Samba, nice little touches. Samba still. Wellington blocking through Jale. Western Sydney just unable to stop the pressure, the wave after wave of the Phoenix attack. And that first goal really is the last thing that Jeff Abraham's side needed.
This is exactly how they were playing against Sydney FC. They were so aggressive, so on the front foot. You could see every time that they win the ball, they look to go forward at pace, looking for little combination plays. And when they do get the ball into wide areas and they're crossing, there's always numbers in the box that are hungry, looking to put that ball in the back of the net.
Phoenix throw. Heavy contact over the shoulder of Jale. Again, have a look at that passing accuracy. Is that ball right on cue? 55% Western Sydney to almost 73% to that of Wellington Phoenix, and it really matches the pictures that we're watching.
What happens, Grace, obviously on the training pitch, you set out with a plan and you come with a game plan to go against your opponent, and you can see there that the Western Sydney Wanderers aren't going away from their game plan. They're looking to play out from the back, but the Phoenix are pressing them aggressively and really, really high. And this is where the experience and the game management of players on the field, then maybe a Shan Karmas needs to get to the point and go, girls, let's push them up here.
Well, they've persisted so far with playing out from the back at their goal kicks. That's what led to the first goal. Great pressure. And it looks as though as well, here comes again CJ Bott, full of energy, full of running always. Western Sydney just struggling to find a way out. Rolls pass straight into Harrison. Harrison's pass straight to Jale. Now Vandermeer. And the Phoenix can start to build again. Here's Vlock, who's had a pocket picked.
Again, Chisari here, just in that battle, not shying away from it, really getting involved and trying to really bring the Wanderers back into this game again.
Berry Hills drop deep as an option, doesn't receive the pass. Long searching one over the top, does really well to find Matos. That's a nice centering ball too from Matos, not dealt with equally so by Phoenix in their defensive area. Drops in a heavy challenge, up and under. Vic Essen has a close eye on it. Well, they haven't had much action in that final third, Western Sydney, but it didn't look too convincing from Wellington's defence on that occasion.
When you're used to attacking for the majority of the game at the moment, what they've had, more of the action down the other end, and then once they do come down, they need to really be ready and focused for it. And the thing is now with the Wanderers, once they do get into that final third, they need to be really clinical and not really rush things. So Danica Matos getting into those areas. If there's nobody in the box. If it's not the right cross, maybe you need support underneath where you can change the point of attack and go out the other way. But, you know, don't rush things. They need to really get themselves under control here and really get into that game management of the game.
Oh, it's a lovely turn by Vlock, and she's heavily brought to ground. Do you think the first card of the afternoon might be produced?
You can see here, no yellow cards at the moment here for Ghirardello. I think she's very lucky there.
Well, she might be. A little word, and perhaps the last word. Wong Ying gets a talking to from the referee. So Barry to take the free kick for Wellington. Saba misses the touch and Western Sydney can clear. And Tanika Matos gets through such a mountain of work for Western Sydney. She has for year on year now. Incredible engine. The corner in the end. Great opportunity for Wellington to extend their lead. And they've had a really good record from corners, in fact the best across the league so far. The Wellington Phoenix found the back of the net on 4 occasions, which is a league high. They've got some good aerial targets. Ellie Walker there, the American, Grace Jale as well. You can see the back post occupying dangerous areas. The delivery is good, looking into the sun, not so good on second glance. Emma Main just dragging that one a little shallow.
Again, you can see here, Grace, the Wellington Phoenix really aggressive with their press, and the Wanderers now looking to skip lines and skip the press of the Wellington Phoenix.
Oh, this will be a good battle. Chloe Berryhill, CJ Bott, 2 absolute competitors. Bott brought to ground, retaliated, but after the whistle had gone, Sanders got an arm in the air, wants a delivery. Vandermeer retreats through Barry. Barry stretches it wide to Nunn. Has really enjoyed life at Wellington since coming across from last year's champions in the Central Coast Mariners. Slotted in well to that right-hand side of Wellington's attack. Marisa Vandermeer, nice pass inside. Lara Wall, her first touch, showing a bit too much of it. Nice release pass, searching for inside, who's done really well up against Barry. A football fern, Alyssa inside, but that's a good recovery. And back it comes. The scrap not done yet. Alyssa inside still going. Mackenzie Barry in the end does get the free kick the way of the Phoenix.
The Phoenix is such a physical team. They're really aggressive. Every player is really on the front foot all the time, looking to win those battles.
Matos. Vandermeer across to cover. The goals flowed freely against Sydney FC for Wellington. Hasn't quite been the case. The first one, you'd say, a little gift. Still with work to do, nonetheless, but high press from the Wellington Phoenix. Poor giveaway at the back. Emma Main could pounce. And now the visitors holding on to a narrow lead. And final third entries, perhaps a little closer than you'd anticipate. Matos's throw back to her feet. Chisari around the corner inside, tries to squeeze it through. And 24-year-old Mackenzie Barry, an important part of this Wellington defence. Nodded on by Insard. And across comes Seon Kim, or Sunny, as she's affectionately known. Chisari first to it. Good anticipation by the midfielder. Matos down the line and fashions a pass to Sunny. Overlapping run. Matos, here she comes again. Cross not quite dealt with once more by Wellington's defence. Bott takes a couple of touches and releases the pressure valve. Jeff Abrahams keeping close watch on this near touchline. Alana Cern with the ball in her hands, of course, coming across from Western United. Has been a regular part of this Western Sydney defence as well. Free kick goes the way of the home team.
I love here Vandermeer just gets stuck in here on Insard and then puts a hand up looking to get the ball back.
Matos down the line. Cern slips it to Berryhill, who has a bit of space. Her pass skips across the surface. No Western Sydney shirts to be found. Off strides Brooke Nunn. Releases Emma Main, the goal scorer, down the right-hand side, but Sham Karmas off her line well. You can just hear the crowd lift at any moment that Wellington look to mount an attack. You can see almost a 3 at the back for Western Sydney. Those wing-backs playing really high and wide.
They are. They've got Amy Harrison just dropping in to make that extra player in the back to try and create that width and looking for that change of the point of the attack there. But what happens is when Amy Harrison drops into that defensive line, it takes another player out of the midfield, and it's all well and good going around, but at some point you need to go through that middle of the park to be able to break the line, to be able to progress the ball forward.
So the Wanderers will have a throw. Both players gone to ground and slowly returning to their feet. Wellington can maintain possession. Vandermeer. Back through Barry. The pressure coming now from the Wanderers. It's been a good start by Alyssa Insard. She's looked most likely for the Wanderers' attack.
It's definitely a well-deserved start for Insard today. I think coming off the bench, she's really made the difference for the Western Sydney Wanderers and has really earned the start today. And it's great to see Jeff Abrahams, you know, putting trust in her and giving her the opportunity to really cement her spot in this team.
Well, here she is, Insard. Her shot clatters into Barry, who has done well to avoid a corner. Just a throw in, just a third start. Insard, 8th appearance. Those other ones obviously off the bench. Berryhill does really well to skip past Wall. Now clips inside. It's a nice piece of it there. Amy Chisari met that well. Well, Vic Essen has taken a moment, and this is a little concerning for the Phoenix. As we have another look. A little innocuous, hard to see exactly what happened here, Nils.
It is a bit of a tough one there. Looks like as she's stepped across, maybe like her knees sort of giving way a little bit there. And you can see by the look on her face, she just sort of Oh, it looks like they're testing the hamstring here.
Or maybe just felt a little tweak as she stepped to the side. Super experienced goalkeeper is Vic Essen, a 34-year-old. And on the bench tonight for Wellington Phoenix is Amy Feinberg-Daniele. As we have another look just to try and make sense of the moment.
It looks like as she's lunged to the side and lunged out, she must have felt something in her hamstring there. And
well, Daniele had the one appearance a little early in the season when Essen was out with a slight niggle. And a couple more for Feinberg-Daniele in previous seasons. So she has played before, but appearances few and far between. Vic Essen back to her feet and looks to be okay. And it's afforded an opportunity for both teams to have a quick chat with coaches, quick drink of water on a warm evening.
Essen was a fantastic pickup for the Wellington Phoenix. Such, you know, a great goalkeeper, but also so much experience. A 2-time Olympian as well, and to come back, you know, in her home country to play in front of friends and families, but also be able to give back to these younger players that are coming through. I think this has been one of the greatest things about the addition to the Wellington Phoenix, which allows, you know, players from New Zealand to be able to come back and play in the Ninja A-League. Another great addition, CJ Bott. What a top pickup she was for the Wellington Phoenix as well. So much still to give to this team.
A couple of great names you've just mentioned there. And of course, Wellington do a bit of an injury run there. Alyssa Wynnum, unfortunately, doing her knee. Tessa Midarg as well, out with for the rest of the season, too, with a season-ending knee injury. Tiana Jabers yet to return for the side, and Macy Fraser, of course, on a leave of absence. So they've had to dig deep into their squad, but now they've got some defending to do. Here comes Insard. Clipped across is headed away by Barry. And again into Barry. Happy to clear for distance. The 30-minute mark ticks over. Possession levelled out now, 50-50. Matos, sharp pass inside. Centering ball, bounce in. Here's Chisari. Been very busy in his opening half hour. Solid challenge from Nunn, and the crowd like it. That pass can't meet a Wellington player. Possession back with Western Sydney. Chisari can turn and face into space. Retreating Samba puts the pressure on. That's a nice ball from Alana Cern. And this is better from Western Sydney. Nice little play. Inside if she can get the cross away. Good, strong challenge through the side from Vandermeer. And Lara Wall down the line to Emma Main, who's brought to ground.
You can see here just that little grab of the T-shirt there from Harada.
It's been a physical match so far. 11 fouls and counting in this opening half hour. On that occasion, hand of apology from CJ Bott as the ball just slipped under her foot. That touch favoured Jale, the pass a little less so. Barry anticipates well. Well, it feels like a long time since Western Sydney last got a result as Georgia Ghirardello produces a yellow card, seemingly in the direction of Brooke Nunn. Or perhaps for the retaliation. Indeed, confirmation yellow card to Brooke Nunn.
You know that Brooke Nunn can get quite feisty on the pitch. We've seen it last season with the Central Coast Mariners as well. She's a real winner.
The chance breaks forward, and it's Samba who's first to retrieve. But looks flabbergasted, as she was certain it was heading out for a Wellington Phoenix corner. Not to be, so Western Sydney. Again, short goal kick. Harrison on the ball, pressure coming in. They do slip a pass beyond the first line of Wellington's defence. Across comes Emma Main. Nice pass to Harada. This better from Western Sydney, just a little neater. Pressure approaching in Nunn. And Wong Ying will send that long and shouts for a handball. Ghirardello sees it.
A lot better here from the Western Sydney Wanderers. Look a little bit more settled into this game. It was really rough that they conceded really early in the game, and that really can, you know, create a little bit of uncertainty within the team as well. But they really seem to have settled now, which is great, and they can see that the Wellington Phoenix are looking to press really aggressively. And now Amy Harrison, for instance, dropping in, picking up that ball and looking to skip that press as well, which is great to see. The only little thing then, little bit of a finer details when Sham Khamis does play into Amy Harris. She's not a left-footed player. So when she does, she has to try and get back onto her right foot to be able to clear her lines there.
Glancing header, Jale to Jasari. Block will close down, and Ying will send that one back to Essen, who looks to have recovered from that momentary concern. Definite improvement in the passing accuracy. Fairly consistent from Wellington. It was just over 50% when we last checked for Western Sydney. Game just meandering into the latter end of this first half. 10 minutes to play. Ellie Walker, the American, formed an important part of this Wellington's defence. Nunn's cross is blocked. Whistle goes. The Wanderers player down and needing attention. Concerned players around. We'll have another look. That was the cross that came through from Brooke Nunn. Watch this one here, just heavy whack into the side of Ella Buchanan's head.
They're never fun, Grace, especially when they come unexpectedly there. And you can see Brooke Nunn really crossing that ball in with full force there.
Ella Buchanan starting all 8 games for Jeff Abrahams this season. Consistency we've seen at the back for this Wanderers side. And again, just another opportunity for both teams to have a quick chat, quick meeting of the minds. So play can recommence. Buchanan back to her feet. and looks to be okay to continue, which is great to see. Wonderful crowd filling the stands at Wanderers Football Park. And a drop ball. It'll be uncontested. With a little bit of pressure coming through from Samba. 4 shots apiece. Nice touch from Brooke Nunn. She is dispossessed through some good work by Seon Kim. Long throw from Walker. Good speed. And the first time cross from Samba has the right idea about it as well. Lara Wall a little late to arrive. Main is upended and it's a free kick in a really dangerous area, just on the edge of the 18-yard box. Amy Harrison and Wanderers players arguing the point.
Sometimes in these areas here, it's not about being pretty. Sometimes it's just about clearing your lines and getting rid of the pressure there. And just unfortunately, that touch for Chloe Berry, who doesn't sit off right. And, you know, they draw the foul here in a dangerous area. And really, these last final minutes of this first half, it's really important. The Western Sydney Wanderers have really got themselves back into this game now. They're getting better possession, more shots on target, and they've really got to hold on here and get themselves into the halftime break.
Well, it's Jale and Samba standing over the ball. Really good area for a free kick. This will be a direct shot, you'd have to think. Both players plenty capable of finding the back of the net. Five players in the wall for Western Sydney. Can the Phoenix double it? Jale to take through the wall, and it's a great save by Karmas. Oh, she did well, Grace Jale, to squeeze that through the gap. But Karmas, good organisation, good preparation of the players in front. Top save. Well, Georgia Ghirardello has come across to have a little chat with her assistant. And that yellow card looked to be pointed in the direction of the Wanderers bench. We'll get confirmation on that in just a minute. So congested area for this corner, the in-swinger. 5 minutes before the halftime break, lofted corner into the box, and again, Karmas up to task.
Great take there by Sham Karmas, really strong in her box, and gets the Wanderers out quickly there, knowing that they can have a little bit of a counter-attack there and get up the other end, and trying to put the Wellington Phoenix under a little bit of pressure.
Well, inside the final 5 minutes of this first half. And the Wanderers, to their credit, have clawed their way back into this game. Confirmation that yellow card was pointed in the direction of Trinity Allen, the goalkeeping coach for Western Sydney. But how about this free kick, yours?
A great free kick here from Jale. What a fantastic save by Sham Karmas as well. You could just see the way that Samba and Jale were talking about it. There must be something that they've spoken about on the training pitch. I love that. And then the teammates, how they're getting around each other. This has been the real difference in the Wellington Phoenix this season, and you can really see it come to life in their last match, but also today you can see the camaraderie between this team. You've got to give credit to Bev Priestman and their whole coaching staff and the whole team behind the team that's really done a fantastic job with this Wellington Phoenix squad.
Definitely look to be a together type of team. Here comes Samba. Nice release ball to Nunn, who has a bit of space in front. Emma Main looks for the first time cross, and Samba will tumble it into the back of the net. Wanderers are disputing, but Samba has been heavily flattened on the ground. It looks as though the offside flag has gone up. And Wellington can't quite make it to right before the half-time break.
You can see here the Wellington Phoenix, as soon as they pick up and recover that ball, they look to break forward really, really quickly there. Emma Main not checking her line there, offside, but Samba just really putting her body on the line there to put the ball in the back of the net.
Well, like any good striker should, in the right place at the right time. Let's have a look at perhaps where this offside occurred.
You can see here Emma Main is making a run across the line there. She's already in an offside position.
So moments tick away before the half-time break. It was close, but a great call in the end by the assistant referee. And this will give us a better view. There it is.
You can see here Main is way offside here. Brooke Nunn plays in behind here. The linesman pulls the flag up. Samba still making that run into the box.
Heavy to the turf went Samba. Good to see. Should be all right to continue. And still a fair scrap in the middle of the park for this Wanderers team up against Wellington. Scooped over the top, the delivery from Samba to Main. 6 minutes. Confirmation of stoppage time added at the end of this first half. We've had a couple of injuries, players needing attention at either end. And the sun just dropping across Wanderers Football Park, cooling as the evening stretches on. Here's Jale. Barry to Walker. Walker's pass excited the crowd. That challenge bringing Emma Main to ground.
There was a big effort there by Chloe Berryhill. Even though she doesn't make the run there, it gives Ella Buchanan here the opportunity to really get stuck in, and she doesn't shy away from a tackle, Buchanan. And
good strength from Brooke Nunn. Has Jale inside if she can pick her out. Bot at the top of the box as well. Nunn asking where the free kick was. Not there, said the assistant referee. Wanderers look to move quickly. Inside, nice little help on. That's great defending by Ellie Walker. Transitional game this. Jale over the top. Nunn full of running. This one she will keep in. Buchanan closes down the space. Brooke Nunn, her cross blocked by Buchanan. That'll be a Phoenix corner.
this is when you start to see the game open up. It starts to go end to end. It's very transitional. There's massive gaps between the lines, and it can get really, really scary for teams in this situation. Again, the Western Sydney Wanderers, a few minutes here left until halftime. Really important they stay switched on. You do not want to be conceding at this point in the game.
So the corner, the in-swinger coming from the left boot of Lara Wall. Numbers arriving, Samba one of them, Vandermeer another. Little short, picked up easily by the Wanderers' defence. Wall will get another pop at it. That's blocked well again. Here's Berryhill. Wanderers look to get rid. Sharp turn by Sonny, who can drive into space. Across his block, and that's well defended by the 17-year-old. That pass anticipated, even better so, by Berryhill, who will not give up the chase, nor will Mackenzie Barry.
Berryhill's really leading by example today. You can see she's trying to chase everything down, trying to be a real leader on the pitch, and really trying to bring the whole team behind her with her. But the problem is, once she goes, the distances between all the Western Sydney Wanderers players are so big. You could see just before with Sonny receiving the ball, beating that first player, but there's no support from the rest of the team to be able to go forward.
Chloe Berryhill announcing that this will be her last year of football, vying for a spot in that Matilda's Asian Cup squad. Back home from Italy to get more regular minutes. And that she will get in this Wanderers team. She too got on the goal scorer's sheet last week, Chloe Berryhill, and would love to do so again. But works hard to try and prevent the corner, and seems to have done very well.
You can just see here the experience from Vic Essen, really slowing this part of the game down, knowing there's only a few minutes left until half-time. You can see she's pointing long, get the team, squeeze them up. No issues here, no stress, no worrying about playing out. Just get rid of the pressure here, go long and really just ride it out until the half-time.
Experience play by the goalkeeper. The header from Barry is up. Jale gets the second ball, block tidies up. Vandermeer goes long, nice header, helpful from Maine. Samba has 1-2 to beat, thinks about the strike, the square pass behind Nunn. He can wheel out and find Bott. CJ Bott, her left foot just scuffs past, and not quite a shot nor a cross. So almost through this 6 minutes of stoppage time. And for the first time in this half, Sham Khamis doesn't want to play short.
She's recognised here there's not long to go. She's pushing the players over to the right-hand side, and because she knows once you do go long, you need to look to win that second ball as well, otherwise it can be dangerous like this.
First ball, second ball, both the way of the Phoenix. Still Samba, lively. She can close the angle. Cuts inside, blocks by Trisari, in comes Vlock, flying through. But there's the full-time whistle. 45 minutes plus 6 in the bag as Georgia Ghirardello brings the half to a close. It'll be a welcome reprieve, a chance to reset for both sides in warm conditions at Wanderers Football Park. It was Emma Main who got things underway in the 7th minute, thanks to a Samba assist. And the one goal from the first half separates the team. So half-time at Wanderers Football Park. It's Western Sydney Wanderers 0, Wellington Phoenix 1. We'll jump straight into the highlights because there was plenty going on in the first half. A sunny start, transitional football, and it was Phoenix who started the better of the two teams.
They really did, Grace. They were really aggressive. You could see straight away as the Western Sydney Wanderers were looking to play out from the back. They were so aggressive on the front foot, and they really left off from that win against Sydney FC. Great to go forward. Right place, right time. Emma Main puts the ball in the back of the net and brings the Phoenix 1-0 up.
A dream start, and this a really good chance for Wellington as well. The free kick in the end from Grace Jale. Top save, good organisation by Sham Khamis to deny the Phoenix a second.
Absolutely, what a fantastic strike there from Grace Jale, and an even better save there from Sham Khamis.
So having a look at the halftime stats, well, there's one that's standing out, shots on target. Phoenix have 2, one of those found the back of the net. But what about that big donut next to the Western Sydney Wanderers tally?
I'm sure Jeff Abrahams is really going to address that at halftime, but it's fantastic to see that the first 15 minutes, the Western Sydney Wanderers really weathered the storm and really got themselves back into the game. So even though they don't have any shots on target, they really brought the possession back up. They got some shots off and really got themselves back into this game.
Well, they did, and there is plenty to look forward to in the second half. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back on the other side of this quick break. Welcome back to Wanderers Football Park, where it is 1-0 in favour of the visiting side. And Vic Essen, she's been a big part of Wellington's season and brings a wealth of experience to the Phoenix. Let's learn a bit more about the 34-year-old shot stopper.
Positive one as a good ball played in over the top. And Good defending. Essendon's got a touch on that.
Yeah, goalkeeping's a tough position. I mean, I think every position has pros and cons, but I think a goalkeeper position can be very lonely at times, especially in games. You might not touch the ball for like 20 or 30 minutes. You can't chase the game, you need to let the game come to you. But I think also being a goalkeeper, when you're involved, it's usually like a high action activity, and I really like that part about goalkeeping.
Knee, thigh, whatever she did, it was effective.
When I was 20, I moved to the States and went on a soccer scholarship, as they call it. So I was really lucky to have 3 years at Texas Tech University. I came back to New Zealand. I was kind of hoping to go professional, but it's not always that easy just to sign a professional contract. The Phoenix didn't exist at that point in time. So I worked full-time for 5 years while kind of still playing amateur football with the hope to play professional one day. So then at age 27, I got my first professional contract in Norway. I went over to Norway and I've been overseas, so Norway, Germany, Scotland, and now, almost 8 years later, I returned to New Zealand, which is pretty special.
Delivers towards Heyman, and Heyman's one and only chance, and she's perfectly picked out the Phoenix keeper.
I think the proudest moment would have to be the World Cup at home in New Zealand. We hardly played at home, just due to the teams we play, and we usually play overseas. So being able to come home to New Zealand playing at Eden Park was a pretty special moment. I think when we walked into the changing room after warm-up, the stadium was about half full. We weren't quite sure how full it was going to get, and then we came back out for the actual game and it was full, and that was pretty amazing to have family and friends in the crowd, backed by Kiwis, and to top it off we managed to win that game, and I think that'll probably remain one of the highlights of my life. Hopefully there was a few more highlights to come this year with the Knicks, but yeah, that's been pretty special so far.
Well, she's been a great inclusion in this Wellington Phoenix team. The leadership, the organisation at the back. Had that little injury scare in the first half, but great to see she's been able to continue.
It's fantastic for the Wellington Phoenix to be able to get Vic Essen back into New Zealand, back into this squad, giving her experience to be able to give back to the football family, but to be able to play in front of family and friends. And she spoke about it in that interview about wanting to get a professional contract in her early years of her career. Now this is what youngsters coming through in Wellington, in New Zealand, can actually strive towards.
Well, fans loving it at Wanderers Football Park. Let's have a look at the goal that we saw in the first 45 minutes. There was one in the end, one that was also ruled offside, but it was Wellington Phoenix who started in a bit of a flash, and Pia Vlok, a bit of a ricochet, Samba with the follow-up, and a really well-positioned Emma Main to steer it home.
She really was, Emma Main. She was in a perfect position, waiting there for Samba's shot to come back off, and in the right place at the right time, and puts that ball in the back of the net. But the aggressive press from the Wellington Phoenix, the setup, you could just see that's just straight off the training pitch, Grace. You could see that the way that they actually set up, they lock Wanderers into one side. As soon as they win the ball, they look to release, to go forward quickly and put the Western Sydney Wanderers under pressure, and that's hard to deal with.
Well, speaking of pressure, it has been a really physical first 45 minutes. A lot of fouls, a lot of physicality, combative nature out there in the middle of the park, and it started early on in the half.
They really did, and you could see that both teams were really up for the battle from the first minute there. And sometimes what happens is the emotions are running really, really high, and the Western Sydney Wanderers really struggled to get themselves back into the game. It took them a little while, that first 20 minutes, especially after the goal. The Wellington Phoenix was right on top, but it was great to see the Wanderers get themselves back into the game. But it's great to see these players not shying away from the tackle, winning those duels, really getting into that physical battle.
Well, do not forget, tomorrow night, Central Coast Mariners hosting Brisbane Roar for the last Ninja A-League game of 2025. The traditional New Year's Eve fixture at the Coast. That's one to look forward to for sure. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back to the second half of this fixture. Western Sydney Wanderers, the Wellington Phoenix. Emma Main, the goal scorer from the first half. One shot on goal, one goal. Not a bad turnaround. Her first of the campaign. Right place, right time. But it was off the back of a good Wellington Phoenix press. And Western Sydney having a quick discussion. Harrison leading the chat on this one.
She sure would be. She'll be telling the girls to make sure that the first 5 minutes, it's super important that they stay in this game. You can't let the Wellington Phoenix score first. They need to stay in this battle. They need to really start this second half on the front foot and really show the Wellington Phoenix that they're here to play this game. But as you know, Grace, words mean something, actions mean another. We need to see actions from every single Western Sydney Wanderers player on the pitch today.
The last words for the visiting team. And a change taking place. Bev Priestman the first to turn to her bench. You can see standing there, Mania Elliott will be replacing Lara Wall. So that was the change we saw at the start of the match. Elliott started against Sydney FC. Wall came in today. So back they go. And on comes Mania Elliott for her 7th appearance of the season. Some fresh legs. And of course she opened the goal scoring for the Phoenix in that 7-0 thrashing of Sydney FC. So second half underway. Temperature dropping at Wanderers Football Park. The sun behind the clouds. The field now completely shaded. The fans still happy. Standing room only at Wanderers Football Park. And I'd be safe to say a big contingency of that crowd as that ball swept in. Sham Khamis plucking it out from the sky. I'd say a good contingency of that crowd with a Nepalese flag or shirt, but it definitely lifts the atmosphere of a stadium and a crowd.
It really does, and it's great. The Wanderers Football Park, it's got that football feel. It's got that coziness. When the place is full, it's really electric, and it really gives the players that bit more of excitement and a bit more of that edge to be able to want to go on and go harder as they're playing. And for me, it's just great to see fans in Western Sydney supporting football and getting behind these games. And at this time of the year, Grace, where else would you rather be?
Where else would you rather be, Kath, if not here? It's a great turnout, really wonderful to see so many fans. Shout out to the little corner of yellow as well, who always turn up in great voice. Nunn gets things back underway for Wellington. Here she is again, runs into a bit of trouble. Ball released over the top to Essen. Her pass finds Vlock, who can skip past Jasari really well. Makes that look effortless, Pia Vlock, the 17-year-old. Maybe a little too much, but in comes Nunn to take over. Harada lunges at the challenge. Brooke Nunn, her cross searching for a Phoenix shirt. Samba falls to her perfectly, and it's Samba on the spot. Listen to the crowd erupt. It's her 3rd of the season, and it's a very important one for the Wellington Phoenix. They've got 2.
Look at that crowd just roaring. Samba just really taking it all in. You can see here, Vlock just skips past Jasari here, gets past the second. Nunn picks it up and really just gets herself into that dangerous area. She knows exactly where that ball's going. She's putting this ball into that dangerous area. Danica Matos there, just not dealing with it, not clearing her lines, and Samba in the right place at the right time, hungry to be able to put that ball in the back of the net. That first time finish in the back of the net, and just look at what it means to the Nepalese international.
Well, the all-time leading goal scorer for Nepal is now the leading goal scorer at Wellington Phoenix this season. 3 goals to her name. CJ Bott getting a bit of attention. He's got to leave the field of play. And that's a concern, that heavy clash on the knee. Physio just having a quick look, but it's a bit of security, a bit of insurance that Wellington really needed. Skating on thin ice there for a while, and Western Sydney are looking for a response. Well, it was the 7th minute in the first half that Emma Main found the first goal. The 3rd minute into the second half that Samba found the second. That's a nice ball, stretching the field over the top. Wanderers will get a chance with a corner. But it does make the challenge, the hill, a little steeper to climb now for Jeff Abraham's side. Harrison's across to take the corner. There's a little collection of players just gathering near the penalty spot for the Wanderers.
You can see here the setup is a little bit different. It's the outswinger here from Amy Harrison.
That's a good ball as well. Glancing header in the direction of Essen, but a foul is given as the referee blows the whistle. Nice delivery on that ball.
It really was. It was a great delivery there from Amy Harrison. It's not easy to be able to attack a ball when it is coming at you out swinging as well, to be able to try and get something on it. But a great delivery there by Amy Harrison.
CJ Bott has returned to the field of play as well. It's good to see. In terms of what this could do for the ladder, still plenty of football to be played. Vlok, who was instrumental in that first goal, runs into trouble in the second.
Beautiful touch there by Vlok. The way she just touches it over the player there and just brings it down so seamlessly. It's just great to see these youngsters being able to get the opportunity to be able to play in this league, and she's got a big future ahead of her.
She does, and she's proving that, young Pia Vlok. But should this result stand for Wellington, 3 points will jump them up into 4th position. Equal on points with Central Coast Mariners, but as it stands, a better goal difference and maybe a bit more to say about that. Samba, great speed, centering pass to Emma Main, and for her second of the afternoon, the main train has well and truly arrived. 3 goals, Wellington Phoenix. It's a wonderful moment for the visiting team. The challenge thrown down by Coach Priestman was, can you back it up? Don't make that result against Sydney a one-off performance. And how about this into the second half? That is pure class.
It sure is, and Wong Ying there just really getting sucked in there by Samba. Great touch in behind. Again, when they go forward, they're so aggressive. They go at pace. You can see Emma Main, as soon as Samba is getting herself into the box, she's getting herself into a position where she can create something. And you can see here, Main with a brace. The hunger in and around the box from the Wellington Phoenix is absolutely phenomenal.
And doesn't she just love it? Emma Main, a brace for the afternoon. And a debut to follow. Emma Pynenberg waiting in the wings, and she'll replace CJ Bott, who did take that heavy knock on the knee. And this will be a like-for-like change. Emma Pynenberg, congratulations on a debut in the Ninja A-League and for Wellington Phoenix. She joins the league from Feyenoord Rotterdam. Quality central midfielder who plays as well with the national team, the Football Ferns. So CJ Bott not being risked, but a pretty handy replacement in Pynenberg. Oh, you hear the crowd rising up to her adoring fans. And maybe it was just a case of needing to get that first goal off her back. Since then, the scoring has really opened up. Wellington Phoenix, 5 shots on target. Western Sydney still to register a single shot on target. just before that goal, Kath, we were talking about what this might do to the ladder. As we were saying, win for Wellington would shoot them up into 4th position, equal on points with Central Coast, but a better goal difference. Western Sydney on the foot of the table. It's a steep hill to climb for them. Even if they were to win this result, this fixture, they'd still be on the bottom of the table with a poor goal difference. Some serious thinking for Jeff Abrahams to do. Pynenberg with some early touches. Can drive into space, looks comfy on the ball. Her shot blocked. Brooke Nunn thinks about the first time cross. Offside flag has gone up. Wanderers picking apart the press from Wellington. Barry's header. Berryhill needing some support. Nice pass out to Seong Kim. Drives inside. Seong Kim. Pynenberg interrupts. And the grapple will result in a free kick the way of Wellington Phoenix.
You can see the frustrations there on Sunny. Not much support there from the rest of the Western Sydney Wanderers players there, but she gets herself in a great opportunity where she actually cuts in on the defender. She's on her right foot. Why not back yourself from those areas?
Walker. Nunn. Oh, looks as though she's enjoying herself out there. Brooke Nunn, closely marshalled by Ella Buchanan.
One for Bev Priestman really to keep an eye on, because we know that she can get quite aggressive. She loves the challenge. She's on a yellow card already. They're 3-0 up at the moment. Not to make any major changes, but we know that the Wellington Phoenix have to go into a big match against the Brisbane Roar.
All the way back to Karmas. Now Cern, pressure coming in, just pinching forward the Phoenix. Wanderers trying to fashion a chance. They haven't had a shot since the 27th minute. Strong challenge. That pass only to Matos. Chance here though for Western Sydney. Berryhill just skips past the ball. Calls for Eunice. Some Eunice fans in the crowd. Vandermeer's clearance. Now Vlock. Here's Wong Yin. She's brought to ground. Wanderers free kick. Well, this is the 9th meeting between these two teams in their history. In the previous 8, Wellington have won 5. Western Sydney have won just 1. And they've drawn on 2 occasions. So history at this stage, with a little over 30 minutes to play, does look to be repeating. And the one and only time Western Sydney beat the Wellington Phoenix was a little over 2 years ago. A Sophie Harding header in her best season was what did it. But since then, one-way traffic the way of the Wellington Phoenix. That's a nice pass, though, to Chloe Berryhill, who is capable from distance. Shot blocked. Now inside, and that drops harmlessly in the end. But almost fatally at the back there, Ella Buchanan misses the target from close range.
It really is, Grace. It's a missed opportunity here for the Western Sydney Wanderers. She's tried to really just use that inside of her foot to try and shape it in, but a big missed opportunity here for the Western Sydney Wanderers.
Well, it's a good advanced position by Ella Buchanan as Seon Kim makes way, the number 9, for Holly Caspers. This is the 8th appearance for Caspers, who has her minutes managed. Deals with a bit of a knee issue, and you can see that right knee on Caspers heavily strapped. And especially with these games coming in quick succession for Western Sydney. Their next one in 4 days. At home again against Canberra, and Caspers looking for an instant impact. Barry's done well.
Hey, just control what we can control. Just wait. No, injury.
So Emma Main, it looks to be 2 goals, a brace for the evening. Just getting a little attention from the physio and doctor. Maybe got a bit of a knock. She's had a great performance this afternoon, good pace. Now we will get a look. It's a heavy clash of heads between Main and Won Ying. So the 60-minute mark has ticked past. Play commences, recommences. And Brooke Nunn will not take any risks. Main okay to continue. Good header by Jale. Rock with an incredible ability with the ball at her feet. So just a slight hush over Wanderers Football Park. That zap from the game has just fallen a little quiet. Samba goes heavily to ground. You could hear the shout. Harrison sends it back long, up and over. Walker will chase down, and the substitute Caspers hot on her tail. Buchanan's throw, and that's well left by Barry.
Barry's really been a rock for the Wellington Phoenix this season. She's played a fantastic role for her team, especially when you're playing the centre of a back 3 as well. You need to be that solid defender that really has control at all times, but her 1v1 defending has been phenomenal this season. She's so strong on the ball.
Another change for the Wellington Phoenix. Brooke Nunn, who's worked really hard this evening, takes a well-deserved rest. Replaced by Lucia Leon for her 4th appearance of the season. Dominican Republic international. And a pick-up from Adelaide United. Moved across the ditch with Wellington in the off-season. Bit of a slow start for Leon. Had an injury at the start of the campaign, but has worked her way back into the team, and a really useful replacement. A little half look over the top, and every time the ball goes anywhere near Samba, you can hear the crowd rise. Main tries to slip through to the substitute Leon.
Leon's a great addition to come off the bench. We know what she can do. We've seen it last season with Adelaide United. She's got that creative flair.
Long throw. Walker launches it into the box. Falls to Jale. Oh, not too far off either. Grace Jale just slightly leaning backwards on the left boot. Wanderers play short. Looking in tight areas. Trying to squeeze away past. The pressure is still coming from Wellington Phoenix. Main has Ying facing back towards her own goal line. The Main's done really well. Wins her side a corner deep in their attacking half.
Western Sydney Wanderers here just playing with fire. You can't let a player like Leon that much time and space in the box to be able to pass things on there, and Jale unlucky not to put that ball in the back of the net. Again here, the long throw from Walker. Wanderers need to make sure that they're picking up their numbers in the box.
Difficult to deal with. Does find the feet of Leon, but then over the line for a Wanderers goal kick. So 3 goals tonight so far for Wellington. Takes their last 2 games to 10 goals scored. As it stands, none conceded. More in their last 2 fixtures than they had in their first 5. It's really starting to click into gear for Bev Priestman's side.
As we know, Grace, it builds confidence as well within the team. When you're scoring goals, you grow in confidence. There's players there like Samba, like Main, like Jale. There's so many players on this team that can actually score a goal, and they've been so prolific in the last 2 games, and the aggressiveness of how they're going forward with the confidence, it's only going to grow and it's only going to get better and better for this team.
In comes the pressure from Caspers as Wellington look to go coast to coast, but that's interrupted. Tidied up by Barry and Jale, but the final pass can't beat Cern. Berry Hill's ball, searching in the middle. Good header away from Walker. She's been busy. Leon is tumbled into. Caspers almost found its way to Jasari. Well, as happy as Priestman was with the 7 goals against Sydney, as we'll come back to that point in a moment. Western Sydney looking to mount an attack, and that's blocked really well at the back by Wellington's defence. Well, Priestman spoke about how important the clean sheet was as well. And that 7-0 win against Sydney was just their 2nd for the season. So as much as she'll be pleased with the 3 goals so far, no doubt eager to hold on to another clean sheet. Talia Eunice waiting in the wings for Western Sydney. You hear the shouts from the field. Someone not too pleased with the time it took. Here's Block. Super tidy on the ball. Glancing header. And Harrison grappling for it, holding on to the shirt of Samba. Those two stop and have a chat about it, and Lucia Leon does get the free kick eventually.
You can see here Amy Harrison just using her body to try and protect that ball there. It's play on, it's game on. You've got to just get on with it there, and then the Wellington Phoenix draw that foul.
Well, it looks to be Amy Chisari making way, as is Alyssa Ansard, who probably had a busier first half than she has second, replacing those two. Yuan Kong, the number 10, her 4th appearance, Chinese international. And the aforementioned Talia Eunice as well for her 7th appearance of the season. So in come Kong and Eunice, out go Chisari and Ansard. 3 changes so far for Jeff Abraham's side. Grace Jale has options Out wide, hugging the touchline is Pia Vlok. And we've seen how good she is on the ball. Does Jale opt for an in-swinger? Numbers arriving. Walker looking to skip away from her defender. So a hush falls over Wanderers Football Park. It will be the long up and over option, and Shane Karmas reads the flight of the ball really well. Heavy landing.
It's a great take here from Shane Karmas. You can see Emma Main just makes slight contact there with Karmas, which brings her to the ground there. It's a bit of a heavy fall on her shoulder.
Karmas okay to continue. Lewis with some early touches. Wide to Buchanan. Rock doing her defensive duties, is back recovering the ball. Here's Eunice, the substitute. Back to Ying and through Karmas. Of course, the other option on the bench tonight in terms of goalkeepers for Western Sydney is Bree Edwards, former Phoenix player, spent a few seasons with Wellington. At least one of those seasons as their first choice shot stopper. So 20 minutes remain. Wellington with possession. Leon. Pinenberg finds Vlok. Nice ball. Vlok driving into space. Has Buchanan approaching. That's a really clever ball from Vlok. Buchanan first to the second ball. Vandermeer now. Has her pocket picked. Berryhill, clever. Field just starting to become a little more stretched as the game wears on. The temperature's dropped, much better, cooler conditions for playing. Out wide through Buchanan, and she's scuffed the cross. Harmlessly out for a Wellington goal kick.
You can see there when obviously Amy Harrison is dropping in to make that back five and then looking to go into those wide areas. And what you need to make sure that you're doing is that you're using those overloads in wide areas, looking for little combination plays to go forward. And once you do get into those wide areas, you're looking for different types of crosses, but then you also need numbers in the box as well.
And final third entries can hardly be separated. Tonight's game has added another goal scorer to the list of Wellington Phoenix goal scorers. They had 7 coming into this evening's fixture. Emma Main has announced herself with a brace. So 8 goal scorers for the year so far for Wellington Phoenix, 6 for the Western Sydney Wanderers. Away strides Vlok yet again. That's well read by Harada. Tidy play by the Wanderers to try and find a way past this Wellington setup. Down the line through Kong. Shouts for a handball. Free kick awarded. Vandermeer, who's worked hard tonight at the back. Now with some more defending to do. Players lining the edge of the 18-yard box. Harrison standing over the ball. Again, it's Cern just floating at the back post, looking for a late arrival. Harrison's delivering, nice shape about it. That looked good. And it was Wong Ying first to make contact, but could only steer it out. In the end, what was offside. And she was first to meet the attack.
She was. She was just obviously in an offside position there, but a great ball in there by Harrison. It was good pace on that ball. That's exactly the type of delivery that you want when it's coming at pace. All you need to do is try and shape and put some part of your body onto it to try and just help it into the goal.
Pynenberg, who's been steady in the middle since coming in for CJ Bott. An uncharacteristic spray from Vic Essen. Wanderer's throw. Caspers trying to fashion something. Jale has a bit of time to think about the pass. Samba has 2 to beat. Harrison tries to block her run. Well done in the end by Western Sydney's defence. Well, enterprising run is slowed by Pia Vlock, who has been everywhere for the Wanderers, sorry, Wellington this evening. And again, it's Harrison standing over the ball. And the last one was a good delivery. Wong Ying, the target, no doubt again. A towering figure. Glanced on once, twice, and Essen hasn't come off her line. A little hesitant in the approach. In the end, does grab onto the ball.
Essen was definitely in two minds there, not knowing whether to go, whether to stay. It was lucky there that she did get that header back into her hands, and safely the Wellington Phoenix are looking to play out again.
Interrupted by Eunice. Here's Ying, and the ball just met as Buchanan still looking to get forward for Western Sydney. But Vlock can reach out and keep this in for Wellington. Watch her stride away into space. Western Sydney just cannot keep up with the 17-year-old. Vlock slows things down, thinks about the cross, and it's off the toe of Ying in the end. Thomas gratefully can retrieve. Header flicked on, Caspers, and Essen is well off her line. Had to be first to receive, and was. Vlock, hasn't she been immense this evening? Here comes Berryhill. Has just Caspers centrally. Needs a bit of support. Berryhill went for perhaps the strike herself. Found just the side netting.
You can see here a little bit of frustration from Chloe Berryhill. I think she was looking for the cross there and just come off the side of her foot.
Another change in the works.
Emma, top of the box.
Well, Emma Main, a brace this evening, and a really wonderful performance by her. Takes a well-earned rest, replaced by Daisy Brazendale for her 6th appearance. No, in fact, looks to be Zoe Benson. Excuse me. Brazendale has made it onto the field after all. So a couple of changes for Wellington. And the crowd rises yet again. Love any opportunity for Samba to get on the ball. Confirmation of that second sub. Zoe Benson replacing Pia Vlock. For Benson, the 19-year-old. Just her third appearance of the season. And Leon can drive inside. Samba, nice little give and go, tidy play. Leon runs into danger. Little pull of the arm. Gives away the free kick. And a yellow card for her troubles, Lucia Leon.
You can see here Leon just pulling on the arm of Kong there.
So a little over 10 minutes to play at Wanderers Football Park. Western Sydney haven't quite met the standard asked of them by Jeff Abrahams, wanting them to win their duels, win their battles, start well. Maybe Chloe Berryhill can ease the scoreline. It's handed back the way of the Phoenix. Barry's met late. Samba's delivery out wide to Lucia Leon. As she strides into space is good. Has a decision to make, Leon. Trickery down the right. Down to ground is Buchanan. Who's worked exceptionally hard this evening, Ella Buchanan.
Defensively here, Buchanan's been fantastic. She knows Leon loves that 1v1 battle, loves to get at players, goes at speed. But Buchanan's been so strong for the Western Sydney Wanderers in defence tonight.
Just listen to the crowd rising for Samba. Wellington's corner. Can they add a fourth to their tally? It's a little wide. Good defensive header away by Cern. They might get another chance. Elliott swings it in. That's a dangerous looking ball as well. Berryhill's there to tidy up, only as far as Jale. Still with Jale if she can reach it. Back through Walker, who's happy just to slow things down. Walker again. Nice down the line to Samba in front of that crowd as it lifts once more. Has options centrally. It's a wonderful centering ball. Searching for the fourth. And that was not far off for Zoe Benson. The offside flag saves the Wanderers' blushes, but I've got to say, it's selfless play by Samba. Her pass for Emma Main's second, and that pass just there searching for what would be Zoe Benson's first.
That's what's so great about Samba. She's great at setting up opportunities for her teammates, but also gets herself into great areas to be able to put the balls into the back of the net. And she understands and reads, has the ability to read when is it time to pass, when is it time to strike a ball, when is it time to go 1v1. It's so fantastic to see.
So Ella Buchanan, it's a well-worked night, and she takes a rest on the bench, replaced by Millie Bennett. Just her second appearance of the season, played a minute off the bench last week. Amelia Bennett, a 17-year-old, so some real youngsters out there for Western Sydney. That's a lovely ball through. Her first touch, and wouldn't that be special? Wasn't to be. So inside the final 10 minutes, and Vic Essen, with all her experience, just happy to tick away at these seconds. Well, coming into tonight, Bev Priestman spoke about wanting her side to back it up, not wanting that Sydney result to be a one-off performance. Still some work to be done inside the final 10 minutes. But another 3 goals. Still defending their goal, and Vic Essen saw that one, had a good hard look at it. Eunice daring from distance. So Western Sydney, as mentioned, fast turnaround at home on Saturday to Canberra United, who are currently sitting on top of the Ninja A-League ladder. Wellington Phoenix travel straight to Brisbane for their next fixture against the Roar on Saturday. Bennett just been lively since coming on. That will be a handball. Leon shakes it away, but Ghirardello is quick to see it.
You can see here Millie Bennett looking to put that ball in behind the Wellington Phoenix defence. She's really come on with a bit of fire in her belly.
It was off the arm of Mackenzie Barry in the end. So Harrison again over this set piece. Essen looking for a couple of players in her wall, 3 as she sets up the shape.
You would even think at this point in the match, Amy Harrison really backs herself from this distance here. She'll look to go herself.
One of the most experienced players now, Amy Harrison. Delivery into the far post, straight into the arms of Vic Essen. Didn't quite have the pace of a shot, nor the shape of a cross.
You can see here Amy Harrison really using the inside of her foot there, trying to curl her foot around that ball, but it doesn't have the pace that it needs.
But nonetheless, it'll go down as a shot on target. And for Western Sydney, their first shot on target arriving in the 85th minute. So this is the 4th time Wellington have gone ahead first in a game, and on all 4 occasions they have not lost. Samba pokes it forward, searching for Benson. Still alive for Wellington Phoenix. Heavy challenge just outside the 18-yard box. Mania Elliott is brought to ground. Nothing doing, says referee Ghirardello. Phoenix throw. Harrison will guard that one out for a Wanderers goal kick. Karmas looking to keep things moving. Eunice under pressure all the way back to Karmas. Ying looks long. Walker, sound yet again. Charlotte loses out in midfield. Berryhill now, the Matilda. Her pass. A tired one. '59 capped Matilda, Chloe Berryhill, who played most of her career as Chloe Lagazzo. Straight back into the thick of things in the red and black. 3 minutes to play here at Wanderers Football Park. Wellington throw. Strong challenge in the middle. Jale square to Leon. Helps it around the corner to Pinenberg. Inside to Brazendale. Doing well with this press from the Wanderers.
Great to see the Western Sydney Wanderers really still trying to stay aggressive there, not allowing the Wellington Phoenix to be able to play out from there. It's important that, you know, they don't leak any more goals here. You don't want to be going into into the next match with a big goal difference as they sit right now.
Well, it's not pretty viewing for Western Sydney. Just 6 goals scored, 18 goals conceded as it stands with these 3 at the hands of Wellington tonight. Long throw from Walker, wanting to add another. Berry Hill's header away, Leon now. Wellington Phoenix with, as it stands, the best defensive record in the league, having conceded just 4 across their 7 games, including this one tonight. Here's Eunice. Barry's done well. The Wanderers bench don't like it. Pynenberg closed down by Matos. That pass a little narrow. Harrison squeezing forward, and her pass squeezing right out. Must have been a touch on the way through. Western Sydney will have a corner. Harrison again, busy over set pieces tonight. Long lofted ball to the far post, bounces once, hooked back in. Leon does well to bring things down for the Wellington Phoenix. Harrison's gone to ground, Eunice. Barry there to tidy up, as she is so often. Across comes Brazendale. Breaks for Lagazo, and that's a really good challenge at the death by Mackenzie Barry. Well, she's there when she's needed and called upon. 8 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this one.
How great is this defence from Mackenzie Barry there? Again, she's been the rock for the Wellington Phoenix. We spoke about the stats before. They haven't conceded many goals. The problem that they were having was in the final third. And over these last 2 games, they've really started to unlock that. But as you know, Grace, great teams are built off great defences.
Well, not wrong. This Wellington Phoenix team started the season with a couple of draws. 1-1 with Canberra, 1-1 with Newcastle. Had a good run of games at home, not so good on the road. This will be their first away win of the season, if they can hold on for this final few minutes of stoppage time. Confirmation of 5 minutes of stoppage time. Here's Samba, looking for another centering ball, and the touch isn't there to match. Leon can drive inside, wants to find Samba, who wasn't quite on the same page. Inside the last 3 minutes.
Berry Hill's been absolutely everywhere for the Western Sydney Wanderers today. On the left, on the right, through the middle. She's trying to create things for her team. Her work rate today has been absolutely phenomenal.
Well, work rate is one thing you cannot doubt from Chloe Berry-Hill. Maybe just feeling a bit of cramp deep into the game, and unsurprisingly so, tired legs.
She's only just got herself back into Australia. She's come from Europe. She's been in Italy, where it's been, you know, the conditions there have been freezing cold. You come into the Australian heat. It's a different type of conditions that you have to play in. And then you're expecting the players to be able to, you know, turn around on such a short turnaround as well. It'd be definitely difficult for not only Chloe Berry-Hill, but the whole entire Western Sydney Wanderers team.
3 games in 7 days. And so far, they've conceded 8 in 2 and scored just the 2. It's a headache for Jeff Abrahams to try and find a solution to. Long throw again from Walker. Still full of energy up front is Samba. And Matos will not stop running.
That's what you get from Matos week in, week out, season after season. She's always that one on the pitch that does not give up, does not stop running. Always giving 100% for her teammates.
Well, Leon's done really well to chase that down. It's a tied challenge from Chloe Berryhill, just grabbing across the chest, across the shoulder, brings Leon to ground.
Again, you get yourself to a point in the match here. The minutes counting down here for the Western Sydney Wanderers.
So inside the final minute, the final 30 seconds, in fact, do the Phoenix have one more to add to their tally? And if Amy Harrison has anything to say about it. Jale spins out. Walker, who's been immense at the back for Wellington tonight. Basendale, or Benson rather, can't secure possession, but the 5 minutes have ticked over. Time in the hands of the referee, Georgia Ghirardello. Wanderers have a throw. Perhaps one last chance, one last foray forward. Matos' delivery is blocked, is cleared away, and at full time, the Phoenix go back-to-back for their first win on the road this season. That jumps them into 4th place on the ladder, and it's a healthy-looking goal difference for the travelling team. The challenge thrown down by the coach to ensure that that result against Sydney FC was not a standalone performance. And I think tonight proves that it was anything but. The Phoenix are flying. Goals to Emma Main to get things started in the first half. The 7th minute, assisted by Samba. The Nepalese fans happy at the end of the 90. Samba with the second, and Emma Main with a brace, seeing things out to make it full-time at Wanderers Football Park. Western Sydney Wanderers 0, Wellington Phoenix 3. Well, it could have been more, but in the end, we were gifted to 3 goals this afternoon, Knowles, and this is how Wellington got things underway.
We really were, Grace, and the Wellington Phoenix, as you can see, this aggressive press and going forward at pace and looking to break quickly. Emma Main on the score sheet puts the ball into the back of the net, and a beautiful ball all from Samba here, the strike, and then Emma Main just putting it into the back of the net. You can see here the strike from Jale, the free kick, fantastic save there from Sham Khamis. But again, really testing the Western Sydney Wanderers keeper here.
Well, it could have been more than just the 3. Pia Vlock was excellent everywhere for Wellington Phoenix, and this second goal had a huge part from Vlock to Nunn, and Nunn's work in the middle that dropped so kindly to Samba.
It really did, and you can see here Nunn, she knows she just wants to put that ball into that dangerous area. It wasn't cleared there from Danica Matos, and the hunger from Samba in the box, that first time finish to be able to put the Wellington Phoenix in front again was a fantastic finish, but just shows how aggressive the Wellington Phoenix have been in this second half.
They never stopped driving forward. An absolutely selfless play by Samba. Could have had the shot herself, could have gone direct football, and found Emma Main in the middle for a second.
And that's what we love about Samba. She's not selfish in the box. She knows when it's the time to strike the ball herself. She knows when to go herself. She knows when to cut that ball back. It was a fantastic ball there and a beautiful finish.
Well, it could have been one for the Wanderers. Ella Buchanan couldn't quite make it at the far post, unable to hit the target, and can only look to the heavens. Let's have a look at the full-time match stats. In the end, it was one-way traffic the way of the visiting team. What catches your eye from those ones, Knowles?
You can see here the possession stats here. They are, close and Wanderers are in front there. But you can see the total shots, they are 10 and 10. But the shots on target, and that was the difference for Wellington Phoenix. When they did get forward, when they did enter that final third, they were so clinical. They were hungry and looking to put that ball into dangerous areas. And then they had the players there to put it into the back of the net.
Well, we are fortunate enough to be joined by Emma May. Emma, congratulations on the result, and not just your first goal for the season, but 2 to your name tonight. How happy are you with that performance?
Yeah, look, it's great to get on the board as a striker. After a few games, you get a bit stressed that you haven't scored yet. So getting 2 on the board is a real confidence builder for me. But I wouldn't be able to do it without the girls beside me and their help. So yeah, I'm very ecstatic.
Emma, it's Kath Cannoli here. You girls have been absolutely flying. Tell us a bit about Bev Priestman and what her managerial experience that she's brought from the international stage